Breaking news. All eyes are on the Los Angeles Chargers heading into 2025, and the spotlight is burning bright on one man, Justin Herbert. This could be the most important season of his career. He's got new weapons, fresh coaching, and more pressure than ever before. Fans are asking the big question, will this finally be the year Herbert breaks through, or is this his last real shot in LA? But before we dive into the latest on Justin Herbert and what 2025 might look like for the Chargers, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and don't forget to smash the bell icon so you never miss the latest Chargers updates, rumors, and breaking stories. Now, let's get into the new headline. Despite the talent around him, Herbert has been criticized for one thing, not winning when it matters most. Some analysts still rank him as the 8th best quarterback in the NFL, but many are starting to wonder, is that good enough? Yes, he's played under multiple coaching staffs. Yes, the playoff exits haven't always been his fault, but in the NFL, results are everything. And this season, it's win or be questioned. New offensive coordinator Greg Roman has already hinted at shaking things up, moving Herbert around more, using his legs, creating more dynamic plays. It's something fans wanted to see last year. Now, it might be the key to unlocking the QB's full potential. 2025 isn't just another season. It could be the turning point. Justin Herbert health and 2025 outlook. Last season, Justin Herbert played through more than just pressure. He played through pain. A painful plantar fascia injury and ankle issues made him less mobile, less explosive. It was clear that his movement was limited, and even Greg Roman pointed it out in interviews. Herbert was never fully himself, but now, in 2025, that's about to change. This time around, fans should expect to see a stronger, sharper, and healthier Justin Herbert. He's had a full offseason to recover, build strength, and get into peak condition. Just watching him at OTAs, you can tell he looks bigger, stronger, and more confident. His frame seems sturdier. His throws? Snappier. One big reason? Another year under Ben Herbert, the strength and conditioning coach. Players across the roster credit him for keeping them on the field when it mattered. From Dion Henley playing through a torn labrum to Jamari Salyer bouncing back from an early camp injury. This staff knows how to keep players ready. So when it comes to Justin Herbert, the Chargers aren't just getting their quarterback back. They're getting a rebuilt, refocused, and recharged version. And that's exactly what this new-look offense needs. Even last season, despite the setbacks, Herbert quietly had one of his best statistical years. 101.7 QB rating, 3,870 passing yards, 23 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. Those numbers alone are elite, but in 2025, with a clean bill of health, added weapons, and a new offensive vision, Herbert could take it to another level. MVP conversation? Absolutely. He was flirting with that level before, and now he has the setup to make a serious run at it. Head coach Jim Harbaugh made it clear. Last year's offense was the baseline, the floor. This year, with smart roster moves and a focus on protection and playmakers, the ceiling is sky high. The 2025 season brings something Justin Herbert didn't have last year, real firepower on offense. Let's be honest, the wide receiver room was thin in 2024, and the running back unit struggled to find consistency. Herbert had to work with limited options, and still, he produced strong numbers. But now, the Chargers have reloaded, new weapons have arrived, and suddenly, this offense feels dangerous. With more support around him, this could be the most complete version of Justin Herbert we've ever seen. He's healthy, he's motivated, and he finally has a cast that can help him dominate. Many around the league believe this could be an MVP-level season for Herbert, and it's hard to argue with them. He has everything in place to make a serious run at the award. But while all of that sounds exciting, there's been one wild rumor that caught a lot of attention online. Some former Chargers players stirred things up by comparing this situation to what Jim Harbaugh once did in San Francisco, when he made the bold move to bench Alex Smith for Colin Kaepernick mid-season. The suggestion? A possible future where Trey Lance somehow replaces Herbert in a similar quarterback switch. Yes, you read that right. Let's be clear. Trey Lance has talent. He can move, he has a strong arm, and he was once considered a top-tier prospect. But he's also struggled to meet expectations. The idea that he would leapfrog Herbert feels more like speculation than strategy. And let's not forget, when Jim Harbaugh joined the Chargers, he called Justin Herbert the crown jewel of the franchise, the player this team is built around. Is Harbaugh a bold decision maker? Absolutely, but the idea of a QB switch like that? Highly unlikely. As of now, this team belongs to Justin Herbert, and 2025 could be the year he proves exactly why. There's one thing that's never been in doubt. Justin Herbert is the heart of this Chargers team. From front office voices like Joe Hortiz to offensive minds like Greg Roman, the respect for Herbert runs deep. And when Jim Harbaugh arrived and included him in his Elite Nine, a group of cornerstone players, that confirmed it. This is the quarterback Harbaugh believes in. Herbert is more than a stat machine. He's a leader, a tone setter, and the kind of player you build a franchise around. But here's the truth. Stats don't win championships, wins do. In 2024, Herbert posted his best record yet at 11-6. That was a step forward. But in this league, it's all about what you do when it matters most. The final minutes, the playoffs, the drives that define legacies. And that's where the challenge lies. The Chargers cannot afford another late-season collapse or a playoff disappointment. Last year's tough loss against Houston was a reminder. Even great quarterbacks need support, execution, and the right moment. That loss wasn't all on Herbert. The offense struggled. The wideouts weren't connecting. The whole unit looked off. But in the NFL, excuses don't matter. Results do. That's why 2025 is a turning point. If this team takes another step backward, the noise will grow louder. Questions will rise again, fair or not. But that's the beauty of this season. Herbert isn't alone anymore. The roster is deeper. The chemistry is building, and it all starts up front with the offensive line. As Jim Harbaugh always says, the tip of the spear is the O-line. And for Herbert to flourish, that spear must stay sharp and steady. The Los Angeles Chargers didn't just talk about protecting Justin Herbert, they built a wall around him. It starts with Joe Alt, who's already looking like one of the smartest picks of last season. After a shaky moment in the Houston game, Alt has shown real growth. Coaches say he's sharper, faster, and more locked in than ever. He's hungry to dominate, and it's showing. On the opposite side, you've got the silent assassin, Rashawn Slater. Still one of the best left tackles in the league, Slater brings elite technique and toughness that sets the tone for the entire line. But here's where it gets scary for defenses. Mekhi Becton now anchors the right side. His sheer size and power are overwhelming, and if he stays healthy, he could be the X factor that takes this O-line to another level. And while the interior of the line is still a puzzle, it's a good problem to have. Whether it's Zion Johnson shifting to center or Bradley Bozeman stepping into a leadership role, the Chargers have options, and competition is pushing everyone to get better. Some analysts are already ranking this group as one of the top 3 offensive lines in the NFL. That's not just hype. With this kind of protection, Herbert will finally have time to carve up defenses like a surgeon. But the Chargers didn't stop there. They loaded up the backfield with fresh firepower. They signed Najee Harris, a bruising back with elite vision. Then they doubled down in the draft by taking Amarian Hampton, a physical runner who refuses to go down on first contact. Don't overlook Raheem Sanders either. He's getting serious buzz from OTAs. Tough, explosive, and determined. And then there's Kamani Vidal, a compact runner with shades of vintage Ray Rice, thick, shifty, and smooth catching passes out of the backfield. This backfield isn't just deep, it's dangerous. For the first time in years, the Chargers have a balanced, punishing offense, a sturdy line, a quarterback with MVP potential, and a stable of backs ready to wear down defenses. Justin Herbert now has everything he needs to cook, and if these pieces click, the 2025 season might be his masterpiece. Fully loaded, Herbert's arsenal is complete. The Los Angeles Chargers didn't just patch holes this offseason, they rearmed Justin Herbert with a full-blown arsenal. After locking down the offensive line and backfield, they turned to the draft, and what they built is terrifying for any defense that stands in their way. Let's start with Trey Harris, the second-round pick who might just be the Chargers' deep ball savior. He's big, fast, and fearless over the middle. Exactly the kind of target Herbert can launch missiles to downfield. But they didn't stop there. They added Keandre Lambert-Smith, a burner with legit 4.3 speed. He brings that old-school 2020 Herbert vibe back. Stretch the field, take the top off, and make defenses sweat every single snap. That's when Herbert thrives. when he can let it fly. Now pair that with the sneaky smart move of picking up Rondy Gadsden II at tight end. He's big, fluid, and can line up all over the field.